lot of the stuff I've reviewed before have been dollar stores, brands like Wilson and Chateau, and it's been stuff I found at mom and pop stores. But I've done a little bit from Duramax. You can see the brand name there. Now Duramax is a brand that I've seen in the big chain store that we have here in Canada. You can see the $3 price tag, so it's a little bit more than a regular dollar store fare of $1, $1.25, $1.50. It's a utility knife. For my comparison today, I'm going to take this. You can see this is my old standby. It's got bits of, I don't even know what half of this stuff is. Little bits of drywall spackle and other kinds of putty and stuff. I've had this knife for years, and we're going to put the two to the test. A little bit of a comparison here, and I'm going to tell you what I think of it. Okay. Dollar store tool review. I got this little utility knife here. As you saw in the packaging, it comes with 6 blades. It's got 5 conventional, I don't know if they're rhomboid or trapezoid shaped blades. I'm going to pop it open and show you what I mean. You know, those kind of blades. And then the one extra utility blade here, pardon me, it's got the curve. The cut part is inside the curve. I'm going to see if I can take this out without cutting myself. Had it. I love it when you get a pack of blades for a utility knife and they still got that little bit of oil on them, so they're sticky. So you can see where the angle of the cut. So you would hook that into a piece of rope or string or something like that. You try and snag something. So I've opened the knife up. You can see the knife here. I've opened it up, and as I said, I'm doing a comparison between this brand new knife that I paid $3 for at a major chain dollar store versus this. It's an Irwin brand utility knife. Now I've had this for at least a decade, and it opens the same way. It's similar inside. You get a spring to pop it open. It's hinged. It's got a locking clasp to keep it shut. This one has a little bit of a holder in here to hold the blades, whereas the dollar store one, it just has the 2 little nubs at the top here that hold the blades in place. But either way, it does a good job of holding the blades in place. Inside the guts, they look pretty similar. You can see the spring is on the other side for the dollar store tool. It's metal. It's not plastic housing. It's pretty sturdy metal. I can't really show you pardon me, but you know, you don't know how much strength I'm putting in, but I'm trying to bend it and push on it, and it's not really given. Could I bend this if I wanted to? Oh, absolutely. But why are you going to pop open your utility knife and then try and bend it? You know, the uses you're going to put it through, you're going to have it closed, and you're going to try and cut something with it like that. You know what I mean? So we look at it. So it's got the holder for the extra blades, and it came with a 6-pack of blades, so I put one in here in the actual ready to use position. I couldn't fit all of the other knives in, but still, so you can carry some spare blades with you. It's got a spring load so it can pop back open. It's pretty easy to shut. I will point something out about this knife. If you see the slot for the thumb action for the handle, look at the silver one, the Irwin blade. So the Irwin one, I'm going to have to switch hands to do this. The Irwin one is so when you lock it in place, it slides up, and then you can push it over to the side to make sure it stays locked, and it's not going to come back. Whereas if I don't lock it over, I push with my thumb, and it still resists, but you know, you have that little bit of extra safety by having it pushed over to the side. You don't really have that. You don't have that little groove that you can slide over to on this one. But still, when I have the blade out, I'm pushing back. As long as I don't push in to release, which then brings the blade back in, you can see it stays out. It locks in place. It locks pretty good. Something about this dollar store versus the big brand name. I paid like 4 times as much for the brand name one here. Something it has that the big brand doesn't. You can see you can cut through a piece of line with that there. You have a string, you have a rope, you have a cord. You can just run it through there, and you don't have to pop the whole blade out. So if you're trying to cut something and you got a quick action and you're gonna, let me widen out the shot, you get a quick action and you're trying to cut through like that, you have the whole blade out, you might cut yourself on the finger or something like that. This way, when you have it in here, you're pretty protected. It's very safe. You got a good insurance policy. And when you pop the blade out, I really don't think this is all that necessary because you're never going to get your finger caught in there. But you can see a little guard slides out. Now the blade is exposed in the slot here, but when I bring the blade out top, a little guard, so you can't cut something there. So it's a pretty good safety design feature in it. When I look at them, they're both very similar in size. The Irwin blade's a little bit wider, well, longer I should say, and it's also a little bit thicker too. Not by very much. Now I'm used to gripping this one here, so this one, it feels a little bit small in my hand, but I'm a big guy with big hands. Maybe this one would be harder for some people to grip, but this one works fine for me with big hands. I think it'd be easier for people with small hands. Another thing I should point out, the rubber grip. I've been pushing on it and trying to get my nail under the seam and see if I can undo it, and I have no doubt that I could if I really tried to ruin it on purpose. But honestly, for using it the way you would use it every day, different environmental temperature changes and stuff like that, it gets wet, stuff like that, I don't think this is going to come off very easy. I don't think this is going to come off very easy at all. It's very well glued down. I've taken the other utility knife and I scratched a little bit of the paint job. Let me see if I can show it. Yeah, right there. So the paint does come off, but I mean, you're going to lose sleep over that. Look at how worn out this one is here. Look at all the wear on this silver finish. You're seeing the raw metal underneath. Okay, I think this one, I've looked at the hinging in it. The hinging looks just as stable, just as solid. The metal looks just as good. I don't think it's going to break apart at the back end. I'm not really doing a blade comparison between these two because I'm really looking at the knife. Because when these 6 blades that come with this knife wear out, you're going to buy 6 more blades. So that's a different story. But I will show you this if I can get it into camera. It's a piece of pine, 2x4, plain Jane. Let me show you the end. It was part of something I disassembled. Now, one problem I've had with some utility knives with this kind of a blade system is when you dig in to cut and you pull away, sometimes if the blade gets stuck in the material, the blade will dislodge from the knife. You'll have a situation where, if I can pop this open, these two little teeth here that hang on to hold the blade in place, it'll become dislodged and the whole blade will come out. So I'm going to do a couple of tests with this just to make sure that doesn't happen. This is pine. It's pretty soft. It's going to be easy for me to dig into, so I'm not going to have a lot of problems with that. And then once I'm in, I'm going to pull away hard and try, and I don't know if you can hear the wood cutting. So the blade stays, so it holds that blade really well. I'm not sure what else I can say about this. Duramax brand, cost me $3 at a big chain dollar store. I've been looking at some of the big chain stuff instead of the small mom and pop stuff, and I gotta say, the biggest chain in Canada here, they've gone to $3 or less, and some of their $3 offerings really shine. The $1 or $1.25 small mom and pop dollar store stuff just doesn't stand up compared to this. I would put this head to head against this particular one here, and this is a really good one. I had one that was before this that didn't have the pop. You had to unscrew it. It didn't have any kind of rubberized grip. This blew that one away. This one blows that one away too. I would stack this one against this one any day. I'd have no problem using either one. Having that little cut option in there might make this one even a little bit better. And I paid 4 times as much for this as I did for this. So I have to say, this Duramax brand utility knife with a 6-pack of blades with it is a pass. absolute pass all the way. So there you have it. This particular dollar store tool is just as effective as something you'd get from a hardware store. I deem this worthy of the toolbox. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.